Gutters, wreckers, and more. Brought to you by Howe, Patio, and Windows. They bring you premier windows, sunrooms, siding, and roofing in all of Southwest Michigan since 1983.
Dear Lord, baby Jesus, or as our brothers to the south call you, Jesus, we thank you so much for this bountiful harvest of Domino's, KFC, and the always delicious Taco Bell. I just want to take time to say thank you for my family, my two beautiful, handsome, striking sons, Walker and Texas Ranger, or TR, as we call him. And of course, my red-hot smoking.
I'm coming alive, a real when I'm on the rise. Yeah. You see the look in my eyes, it's going down right now. Yeah. And I'm taking my shot, way up at the top, up at the zone, we ain't gonna stop. It's going down right now. Get ready right now. Get ready right now. Get ready. It's going down.
What is going on, everybody?
Happy Monday, folks.
I didn't take it this time.
Take what?
I always, you always say Happy Monday, folks, and I took it last week.
You said it again like 4 seconds ago.
No.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
It's a Monday.
Oh, boy.
Man, I hope everybody had a good weekend. How was your weekend, Paul?
It was great. It was great. Had a company party up at your favorite establishment, Craig's Cruisers. So
Triggered.
But no, it was a great time. Had a party bus. Got to celebrate a very good season. So that was pretty cool. How about you? Little man had a big weekend.
Yeah, he had a huge weekend. His flag football tournament. And I'm proud to say we took second place. We lost in the championship game. It was heartbreaking for the kids and for both Craig and I. Craig was my assistant coach. We knew going into that game it was going to be a struggle, and it was. First game we won 8-0. Defense took that game and ran with it. And second game we won 12-0, and third game we lost 24-6.
Better than the Lions.
But no, Brantley went to bed early Friday night. He says, I'm going to bed. I got a big day tomorrow. He woke up Saturday morning and says, Dad, we got a big day. We got a big day. We're going to win. I couldn't be more proud of the kid. His dedication to football, to learning and wanting to be better is awesome. His confidence is through the roof, and extremely proud of the kid. I'm proud of all 8 kids on the team. They did really good. So
yeah.
A little bittersweet ending. I hate to see football end. I love this team a lot. This team was fun.
So just because I don't know, will they still play next year, or do they kind of change teams every year?
So we do a draft every year. Obviously,
right.
Brantley being my kid, if I'm the coach, I automatically get him. But then there's this luck of the draw. If I can get some of the kids, I got extremely lucky this year. I was the number 1 pick. So I had a good team. Unfortunately, We just couldn't capitalize at the end there. So
still a damn good season though for the kids. That's
awesome.
Brantley loved it. He was always talking about it.
So. They ended on a 7-game win streak, other than losing championship games. So it was huge for them. It was fun. I love coaching flag football. Even if my son wasn't on the team, it's fun to coach. So, real quick, because we forgot, make sure you like our page, share our stream. Make sure you ask our guest, Joel Areaux. He had to correct me a couple times this summer because we were trying to pronounce his last name, and he's like, no, it's just like Areaux. And we'll let him talk about when he gets up here, because I'm probably murdering that yet. But we'll let him talk about it a little bit. So make sure you ask him questions, get to know him. I want to thank our partners. I'm struggling today.
It's because it's Monday. It's full moon week too, so things are extra crazy.
Right. So thank our partners, Howe, Patio, and Windows. Kalamazoo Speedway, Finish Line Landscape Management, Finish Line Handyman Home Repair, EMA Enterprises, Lewis over at Top Row Racing Media. We did get a crash of the week. He was relaxing. We talked about it last week. He probably needed some time off, and he took it. And then, of course, Alicia, everything for what she does for us. So, man, dude, I got to talk about it. Our Portage native, Carson Hocevar. Did I?
Horse.
Gosh, gosh, I'm telling you, I'm struggling
you've
on
come a
words.
long way since we first started talking about
Holy
him. It used to
crap.
be really bad.
Yeah, I'm still not good with words.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
No, nobody ever understands the words coming out of my mouth. But man, he has won 4 truck races this year. Made the championship 4. That's a huge accomplishment. Especially coming from a local boy like that. You know, that's pretty dang cool.
Here's a little trivia for you, Chad.
Oh God, you know.
If Carson is able to win the championship here in a couple weeks down in Phoenix, there's 2 other Michigan boys that have done it in the truck series.
Johnny Benson.
That's one. You got to go way back on the other one.
How far back we talking?
Oh, late 90s? Mr. Jack Sprague. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know he was a Michigan boy.
Yep.
Huh.
So hopefully he can do it. It'd be cool. I say if he does, we somehow get a giant parade like they do for all the major sports teams. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've been.
thanks, Tom. 5/10 of a mile tracks are my
5/10.
favorite.
I love the 5/10. I do. No, we've been working with Kenny, trying to get Carson on the show. So hopefully we can get a championship out of him and then bring him on. That would be pretty dang big. So
Would be sweet.
that would be awesome.
Super sweet.
So real quick, Adam Vincent just comments up, fellas. A happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Adam.
Man,
That's super cool.
David Luck said we're all partying. Yeah, we probably are.
Yep.
I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. Man, so do you have any updates? You got
Oh, yeah.
anything?
Denny Hamlin's a hack. There's that. What a jackass. Like,
Oh, wow. We
He
just went there.
He can't. I could spend a whole episode talking about my hatred for him, but man, that guy. Did you watch any of the NASCAR race
I
yesterday?
did not.
That guy can't race clean or race to save his life, and it's always somebody else's fault. So that's all I got to say on that. If he makes championship 4, hopefully he gets stuffed into the wall lap 1.
Isn't that most short track racers? It's never anybody's fault. But
The good ones admit when they're wrong.
okay, well, fair enough.
I mean, you look at Kyle Larson. I don't know if you saw what happened with him.
I triggered Paul.
You did. I told you. My hatred for him is real. Kyle Larson was trying for what he did. Didn't blame Blaney. Said, oh, yeah, he slowed up more than I anticipated. But at the end of the day, I'm still in control of the car. Boom. That's a true racer, not a freaking Denny Hamlin. So next.
I love triggering Paul. I don't have any other updates. I know
It's going to be 75 tomorrow.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I hear we're all bringing our race cars up to Kalamazoo Speedway.
Oh.
Green flag at 4.
Oh. All right.
Just kidding. I don't know. Be fun.
I did talk to Kenny a little bit because we did get tagged in the post asking about awards banquet. They are, from what Kenny says, they are planning on doing one. They are just trying to find a venue and a time and how they're going to do it. So, but they are planning on doing one. So don't forget about that. Oh, Kenny Bradshaw said none of the Toyota drivers can drive clean.
Christopher Bell. I mean, I'll argue that one. My dad will love that comment. Dad, I know you're watching. He also is not a fan of Toyota so much, but yeah, leave it at that.
Okay. Well, other than that, I got nothing else.
Denny Hamlin's a hack. I'll just say it again.
He's just gonna hit that nonstop.
I need a sticker made.
Let's go ahead and bring. What are you searching for?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Quit yelling at our producer.
I know. I'm already snapping. Let's bring our guest on. Let's.
No, we're
All right.
poof.
He's here. All right. Clean air. How do you say your last name?
Areaux.
Oh, jeez. I was way off.
You were close. Yeah, I mean, you were.
To be fair, Areaux.
It's got that goofy X, but to be fair, I did send you guys a message that said you could pronounce it however. It's been screwed up.
Wow. All the
It's
times
just like
I was up
Hocevar.
announcing, like, gosh.
Just
Look at this. We got a character on the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So first off, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
thank you for having me.
Man, he came in here and he was all excited. And that's what we like to see.
He came in with a Red Bull at 7:00 at night.
Puzzled.
Man, good for you.
All right. Paul was wondering, how old are you?
33.
Wow.
You look at me like you don't believe me.
No, I'm.
I mean, I think up until 2 years ago,
He's literally pulling his
I could
ID.
drink caffeine at this hour, but not so much.
Why do you have
anymore.
two? Do you have a fake ID? What the? All right. I really wish we could show this picture.
Wait, hold.
You got to show him the picture. That's guys. Oh,
So-
I don't know if that's going to be a struggle. I don't know if we can get it. If you can get it, I ain't going to work.
No.
It's great. It's one of the best pictures I've ever seen for a photo out there.
Well, welcome. Once more, welcome. That's a great entrance.
I'm looking at the picture. All right. So I always ask, who is Joel Areaux?
Well, I'm kind of boring. I work. I sell auto parts by day. I race by night. I just got into racing. This is my first year, but I've had a passion for motorsports since I was 11. I've been following NASCAR for a while and decided that I'd give it a try. So, but yeah, by day, my profession is I sell auto parts. So if you take your car somewhere to go get fixed, that garage has to get their parts from somebody, and I'm one of those people.
What are your thoughts on Denny Hamlin?
I have very few opinions on Denny Hamlin. So, I mean, he hasn't done anything to upset me.
All right. That's a good answer. Very political. I like that.
I mean, Alicia likes Denny Hamlin too.
I don't mind him.
She
I
just
didn't
gave
know
me the
she
look.
was walking to North Carolina next week. That's cool.
Yeah, you're talking
stuttered.
about my
Mondays
word.
are hard, okay?
All right, Paul, go ahead, bud.
All right. Well, you answered one of my questions, so I'm just going to jump down to that one. Talked about your day job. Man, words.
Words are bad today.
How long have you been working there selling auto parts?
I've been in automotive aftermarket for 8 years now. 2 different companies. But yeah, I love it. I got into it by accident, and I'm glad I did.
Explain that one for us.
My ex-wife was actually working for a parts company that I was working for Huntington Bank, and I wasn't happy with the bank. Our values didn't align. So great bank, but I just wasn't for me, and I didn't want to be inside 4 walls. And so I became, she was an outside sales rep. They needed an outside sales rep. So I jumped over, and I didn't know the difference between a spark plug and a drain plug when I started. So
Yeah, that's spark plug.
hey, there we go. Where's drain plug?
we haven't found her yet.
I'm drain plug. Okay.
That's a good.
Yeah. But yeah, I haven't looked back. I mean, I've been happy. It gives me the freedom to travel about and talk with different people. I mean, you can probably figure out that I don't like to be still very much. And
Never would have guessed.
yeah.
No.
Top row, Lewis actually said you have a ton of energy and always seem excited. And that very evident. Man, you just come in and you take the room and you kind of grab everybody's and suck you in. So keep that up.
That's my goal. I decided when it stops being fun, that's when I'll stop doing it.
That's. Yeah,
We've had that discussion before.
plenty of times. So with that,
It's one.
what got you into racing?
So I unfortunately I got divorced, and that gave me a lot of free time. And so I'd always, like I said, I'd always followed racing. So I always wanted to, I've watched forever, and I was like, yeah, it'd be fun to be in that. And, one day I was cruising on Facebook Marketplace. I found a grandma car, and I'm like, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to gut it. And I'm going to do it. But the problem was I lived in an apartment complex, and people paid a lot of money to not live next to people like me, who's gutting a Monte Carlo in the parking lot and then pushing it into the garage at night. And
At least you push it in, though.
Well, yeah. I pushed it, but I'd cut a bunch of stuff out of it, and then I'd fire it up and go for a rip around the parking lot, and make sure it still worked. And but yeah, so I found a lot of free time, and I wanted to do it, and I got in touch with. I started asking around in the community who. Baby steps, who could help me get a cage. And so I asked around in the community, and they're like, go see Adam at Chapter 2 Customs. He's, best in fabricating. So, I asked around, and I went out and got everything that I needed, and he helped me get started. And here I am. It all started with a little free time.
What year was your first year racing?
This year.
This year.
Okay. So I'm actually, are yellow stripe parties a thing? Do people throw parties for ripping off their yellow stripe?
I mean, they should.
I'm going to throw a yellow stripe party if anybody wants to come.
Look for the Facebook event.
I mean, I had a yellow stripe.
I did it just as like a warning to other people. Like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He could change direction at any time.
That's what I told Chad too. It's like, it's not so much for you, it's for everybody else on the track.
Right. Well, so it was one of my first times out. I just had a little tiny yellow stripe, and I went ripping, and I don't know what I'm doing. And I went ripping into the corner, and my car started getting a little squirrely, and I made the mistake, the worst mistake you can make in a front wheel drive is hitting the brakes when you start getting squirrely. And I plowed right into Littlefoot, Bentley.
Oh,
yeah. It spun us both out. And I really thought about hanging it up that day. I'm like, I just, it doesn't, this isn't for me. And went over and chatted with them. They're great folks. And
how you said Littlefoot.
The little one.
So Eric, he says he digs a path walking back and forth between our cars every Friday.
I really do. It's just pacing back and forth.
Lewis says your after race thoughts are popular. He left them in on purpose because your passion is very evident.
I appreciate that. I appreciate the graphic that you created for me, because I run my mouth so much.
Kevin Page, do you know him?
Yeah.
He says, hi, Jared.
Hey, Jared.
Sarah.
Yeah, it's a backstory that we're not getting into. Okay. So you remember we like backstories. I didn't know that was going to be. Yeah. We're yeah. Hi, Jared.
Do we got the crickets?
She was sleeping on that one.
She was. Oh my goodness. Can we figure out why he doesn't have a Facebook anymore? No. Oh.
Okay. All right.
A little behind.
So this was your first year racing. I don't know if you knew this, but way back in the day, well, like 6-7 years ago, Kalamazoo Speedway did flip-flop cyber stocks, where front wheel drives, I don't know if they flipped a coin, whatever, but they would either go the right way around the racetrack or they would go backwards. Would you ever be interested in going back to that if it ever came up, or do you like the traditional left-hand turns?
So I really like the traditional left-hand turns, because I feel like the front wheel drive is a good feeder series into some of the other series. Would I do it? Yeah, because I love to, I love the track atmosphere, so I just love to be there. So of course, if tomorrow Gary's like, yeah, we're doing flip-flop, and cool, I'll still be there. I'd be a little upset I have to change everything about my car, but I mean, like, I'll still be there. But I do like the idea of it being, a good entry level to something like the street stock and then the late models and things like that. So me personally, if you were to ask me, and nobody really ever does, no, I'd keep it the same.
I don't think you're alone there. I think there's a reason they steered clear of it. But
Kevin Page says, "Is anyone a cop? You have to tell me if you're a cop."
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my God. So I was at his wedding. Yeah, I was speaking at his wedding. And before I told a bunch of stories, that was the first thing I said. All right, I'm going to get up here and tell a bunch of stories. But first, are any of you guys cops? You have to tell me if you're cops.
Then he says, how about running the race in reverse?
Or like a reverse gear only? Yeah, you need to come out to the night of destruction, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see them run things in reverse, run into stuff. That's the night of destruction.
They should do stacker cars in reverse next year.
Oh, gosh, no.
Would you allow mirrors if you're doing it in reverse, or do you have to look over your shoulder?
You have to look over your shoulder.
You look over the shoulder.
Yeah. Everyone needs new necks at the end of it.
Yeah.
So.
God, yeah. Hit up your chiropractor or your doctor, get some Flexerol or something.
So what is it about racing that you enjoy most?
The family atmosphere. I've made so many friends. I mean, this is my first year out there, and I've made lifelong friends. So yeah, I mean, it's just the total atmosphere, the camaraderie, the everybody helping out everybody, pitching in, and you know, I love that. You don't really get that in many other sports. You wouldn't see, you know, NBA. You wouldn't see two teams going, hey man, hey, maybe I'd shoot like this, or maybe I'd guard like this, or you know. But all the time, you get somebody coming up and go, hey man, when you're running high, you know, you get people giving you suggestions. You don't see that in other sports. So I like how open, transparent, how, you know, just the community of it.
It's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yep. What is your driving style? Are you patient, aggressive, somewhere in between?
Patient to somewhere in between. Like okay. I've had people coming up to me afterwards and saying, man, if you've been a little more aggressive or beat his bumper off, and I was like, that's not my style. Like I wouldn't want somebody to run me like that, but I mean, like, and I'm also not good enough to run somebody like that. You know, there was a I want to say it was an outlaw front wheel drive race earlier this season where there was a lot of controversy about it. There was a lot of hard racing, and I'm not that good. I could not, you know, rattle somebody like that to make a pass without putting them in the wall. So I'm not going to.
That's fair. It's a respectful answer.
You know who isn't respectful?
Danny Hamlin.
Yep, thank you.
Freaking Hamlin. Carol Baskin.
That bitch.
So do you prefer trophies or medals for winning?
Pictures. I don't know. I mean, I don't really have a I mean, again, I'm just happy to be there. So I mean, I don't have a big old display case for. I mean, a trophy would be neat, but eventually, I think you'd run out of places to, you know, if you're really good or something, you're constantly crushing it. You're gonna run out of places to put them, and then they just become dust collectors. So I don't know. I've got so I won a heat race. They gave me I placed third. No, I placed third in a feature. I got a medal for it. It's hung up with a nice display of pictures. So me personally, I guess medals.
I like what you said about I'm just there to enjoy it, have fun. That I feel gets lost along the way for a lot of people, and the fact you still have that is awesome. So don't ever lose that. That'll take you a long way.
Like I said, if when it stops being fun, you know, you run into the people who are, you know, mad. You know, they cut a tire, and that just it seems like it threw off their whole life, and it's like, be back next week.
Yep.
You know, but again, I'm just here for fun. I'm not collecting hardware. I'm not necessarily racing for points. Just if I can drive the car and the trailer at the end of the night, I'm a happy guy. That
some weeks is a huge win.
Yeah.
So,
man, he's got the mindset of someone who's been racing for years. It's impressive. No, it's good. Kevin says he's ridden in the car with you or driving. He's like, are you sure about patient?
Yeah, no, I race a lot different than I drive on 131.
So where is home base? Are you from Kalamazoo area or?
From all over. So I was born and raised in Hopkins. Moved to Plainwell in 6th grade. Graduated from there, and then moved to South Haven, Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, all over Southwest Michigan. But
okay,
I consider Plainwell Hopkins home.
Nice. What do you think your biggest accomplishment in 2023 was?
My biggest accomplishment in 2023. Being able to keep the race car in one piece. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, like I had all my eggs in one basket. Like I didn't have a backup plan. So the fact that, I mean, I was able to park it in the garage after Super Shoe was a pretty big accomplishment.
That's a win.
I guess, so that'd be like my racing, you know, my favorite racing accomplishment personally. I mean, I just got put in charge of training for my company. So
congrats.
Yeah, that
awesome.
was a pretty big accomplishment. That's always been a passion of mine. So
good.
All right.
Kyle Cook also says Jared.
Oh, there's another Jared. Hi, Jared.
So Chad asked trophies or medals. I'm gonna ask, you know, in front wheel drives, your weekly winnings aren't the highest. You know, you're not racing for 10 grand to win, but the front wheel drives has some really outstanding paying races. You know, $1,000 here, $500. Would you prefer to race for more money on the line, or is a championship an ultimate end goal?
Money talks. Yes, walks.
You
know
can
what I mean?
swear. We're allowed 2
Okay.
F-bombs per episode.
No, I mean, I like, but I mean, I've also never shown up for the money or the championship. I guess I'm a different, I guess I'm different. I mean, I knew going into it that it's my, my first year and there's 100 people that are going to be better than me, more experienced than me. So, I mean, championship wasn't even in my mind. And they always say if you're, there's one way to become a millionaire by racing, and it's to start off as a billionaire. So,
That's
I've never shown up for the check, which, by the way, Gary, if you're listening, I lost that small check from Super Shoe. I don't know what the policy is on that, but
oh my God.
We can leave a note on his desk.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll have a note.
no big deal. I'm not upset about it.
That's a good. That's a good thought.
Yeah, I've never,
process, though.
it's if I could, if I could break even, I'd be happy.
That again is a win, just like loading it into the trailer one piece.
Yeah.
So, take her away, Chad.
You're a track owner.
Mhm.
What's one rule you would change if you were the owner? It could be anything. You can add, you can remove, you can change it, whatever your preference is.
I don't. I guess also it boils down to without the experience. I guess I don't know what would be the competitive edge, but I hear a lot around tire soaking. I think that'd be, it seems like it. Not in our series. I mean, it wouldn't be worth anything in our series, but I mean, like if you're my understanding is it makes them last longer. I mean, maybe I'd look into that, and then communications, like not opposed to like in-car communications. Like if you look at if you ever watch any of the race videos from, Bowman Gray, you're always listening to them, but I mean, they're a lot more aggressive and nasty down there, but, in-car communications, maybe tire rules.
So when you say in-car communications, you mean like a spotter?
Sure.
Or
Yeah.
so you would
Or
want
mirrors.
spotters?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind that, or mirrors. That'd be kind of neat. If I could know, but I guess maybe that comes with experience. Without knowing what I'm doing, it'd be cool to know what's going on behind me.
No, I don't disagree at all. I mean, a lot of people probably would like mirrors, but I think they would look at probably the side of, oh, now you're going to be blocking people.
Doesn't that make it interesting?
I mean,
again, I'm not.
You're
good
not
enough,
wrong.
But I mean, I don't know. Look at Terry Klein, and he won that B feature in Super Shoe. I mean, his car was probably only this wide, but I mean, my God, you'd have thought it was 80 feet wide. And I mean, you don't need, I guess, communications to, you can hear it kind of, but it's kind of nice to know if, because there's also been times where Tower hasn't hit me up in time. Like if you go back and look at one of my Top Row videos, they had to foghorn me out, but I was racing at it was the last lap. I was racing somebody for position on last lap. We crossed the start and finish line. I just took my foot off the throttle, and I'm coming into one, and right there at the bottom of one, there's somebody facing the wrong way.
oh,
I had no clue he was there. But I mean, you look in that video, I mean, I had to swerve up.
Right.
Luckily, there was nobody there.
Yep.
Had somebody been next to me, it would have been really messed up. But somebody who, somebody from up the top could have.
Oh, Kevin Page had a comment.
yo, it's good enough.
Think about baseball.
Are you a big baseball fan?
No, not at all. That's why I hate that. How is that our national sport? Are you kidding me?
All right. Go ahead, Paul.
All right. So
How are you gonna recover?
there's been some talk. Kalamazoo faces, they have the traditional front wheel drives, the outlaw front wheel drives. They're not alone. A lot of other tracks have it. Do you like that setup, or would you prefer more of an ABC style front wheel drive program where they just get separated more based on time?
And again, this would be a biased opinion, I suppose, but for somebody who drives a boat like me, I might actually perform better and be in a higher class if I was allowed to do something different, like put Hoosiers on the car, or if I was able to change certain things in my car that would be illegal in the zoo stock. You're not going to make my boat an outlaw. Like, I'm not going to keep up with people like Matt Elsey Jr. in a Monte Carlo. And so, I mean, but if you give us an ABC, like, my zoo-ish outlaw car has a chance.
It gives you options
Yeah.
to. Nope, I like that.
Huh.
I agree, Top Row.
Yeah.
Lewis. I've always liked the ABC. I liked Springport had the rear wheel drive ABC numerous years ago. It's been a while, but I was kind of like that. It allows for a variety. You know, you can bring something to go race. You're not conformed to one set of rules.
What's he doing now? Hoosiers, buddy. Hoosiers. Like, who's your daddy?
Oh God, should we have
Hoosier, that
him
noise
with
that
me?
Sylvester Stallone makes when he sneezes.
Oh my God.
Hoosier.
All right. That's whew. All right. Any plans to move up and get out of the zoo stocks?
I'm still learning. So not anytime, not next year. You know, I'm still learning. I'm still cutting my teeth. I'd be in the way of some of those other guys. So no, for right now, I'm happy in zoo stock. Like what I'm doing there.
All right, well, I'll piggyback off that. What are your 2024 plans as of right now, October 23rd?
For racing or personally?
Racing.
I plan to clean the car up. I mean, I've got, I sustained a bunch of damage, bumps and bruises, hitting the wall, hitting cars, hitting things. And so clean up the car, look at, explore new sponsorship opportunities. But yeah, basically just some TLC on the car. And I plan to bring the Monte Carlo out back again next year, minus the yellow stripe.
Fantastic. Yeah. Yellow stripe party coming soon.
What do you think drivers can do to help with fan interaction?
The fans are the whole reason we're there. Marketing should be built into part of part of your race program. Something like the autograph nights are huge. I mean, that's what's bringing bringing everybody in. So I mean, you want to bring fan participation in. What can the racers do? Get active on Facebook. Hit up people on, if you don't have people on Facebook, hit them up on text message, give them a call, make an outing out of it, make an event. The best thing you can do is encourage. I mean, the promoters can only do so much. So, I mean, they rely a lot on you to, exponential growth. You tell somebody who tells somebody who tells somebody, and by the, now you got the stands full. But what can the racers? I mean, visibility. You're representing you've got a brand. You're representing the track you race at. Get that with you. Share some of the stuff that if your local track puts up something on Facebook, share it. Cost you nothing to help promote the
boom. You hit on that. Costs you nothing. Yep.
Yeah.
Couple seconds worth of
seconds.
work.
Give it a share. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's all organic growth. That's
all right. I always like to go the opposite of what Chad asked. What's something that tracks do that you don't like or disagree with?
I don't like or disagree with.
Doesn't
I guess
have to be
nothing's like,
Kelsey.
I mean, I guess I haven't had something like rub me the wrong way or like, I wish they didn't have that rule because I really got boned on that one. I've never, what could they do for what? To make the racers more engaged, to make the fans more engaged? Or I guess.
Writing it, I always think of from a driver's standpoint, there's a rule that I either know works to my disadvantage or costs me more money. That's how I kind of look at it.
So, I mean, I guess in my series, there's not a lot that you're allowed to do that costs a ton of money, and that's kind of nice that they have the rules that govern that, because, I mean, if you remove the rules, now you're outlaw. And then somebody like me with a Monte Carlo is not going to be able to do anything. It kind of limits it raises your bar to entry. So, I mean, I like, that might be an unpopular opinion, but I do like the rules in my class. I don't mind them. But again, I'm not out there competing for a championship. I'm sure if you ask somebody who's a lot better, they got a lot more opinions on that. But that's for racers, though. I mean, as far as like fan engagement goes, I mean, there's a lot you could do there. I mean, there's, make it a carnival atmosphere. You're looking at, lean on your sponsors. You got a bunch of people paying a bunch of money to have their name out on your racetrack. Give them the option to set up a booth. Give them the option to set up a, bounce house, something, make it,
Gunnar Gale says boats are better than small cars anyway. I agree.
High side, baby.
I
High
love seeing
side.
the Monte Carlos and the bigger cars out there.
I like it. So again, I guess it's more nostalgia to me. So I drive an 01 Monte Carlo, and I was 11 in 2001. So that's the style that I was seeing when I was first big into it. And I like the Monte Carlos.
Me
I've
too.
always liked it.
So what would you say your favorite short track is?
To watch,
racing and to be a fan at?
I've only raced at Kalamazoo, so I mean, I got to rep my home track, Kalamazoo Speedway for sure. I've only had the option to watch short tracks. I've only had the option to watch it a few, but Hartford, I really like good, dirty, clean fun. Like it's Tim's great, great track promoter. And
You want to say hi to Leah? She's watching.
Yeah.
oh, hey, Leah. Yeah. So I mean, back when I used to do a lot like, so, I mean, this kind of ties in. So we were talking about what can you do, make it more of a carnival atmosphere. Heck, when I worked in my previous life, my previous life in auto parts.
Carry two.
Yeah, I got a whiteboard here.
Yeah. So I've worked for 2 automotive aftermarket companies.
Okay.
And the first one was a sponsor of the racetrack out there at Hartford. We were
Buddy is on a roll.
what's he doing? Like in the shower, bud. Yeah. Oh, he's gonna get us banned. But I used to set up a big old booth, promotional event, hand out swag, hand out stuff, I like what they do out there. They're very laid back. It's not a bad seat in the house. So yeah, personally, if I'm gonna go watch a race, I like Hartford.
What's up, Donnie? And I couldn't agree more. I had not been to Hartford in years before this year. We got invited to go help out with one of the Night of Destructions. Went and checked out the sprint cars last month. Man, you can tell they appreciate everybody that walks through that front gate, or in the pits too. I mean, the whole facility is amazing. The racing's awesome. So yeah,
that's huge. I mean, just the appreciation. I mean, like he's down there, with them all. I mean, it's really a good atmosphere out there. So I like them both. I mean, I know it's complete opposite spectrum, dirt and asphalt, but yeah,
not a wrong answer though.
But I do like not having to spray down my truck after watching a race night at Kalamazoo. So I mean,
something to be said for that.
All right, Paul, go ahead.
All right. So you mentioned Kalamazoo has been the only race track so far that you raced at. What's one that you would really love to go race at in any type of car?
M40. The only thing rules. Okay. So the only thing that's kept me away from M40 is I was reading their
Squirrel.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I was reading their rules package for like what their zoo stock would be, and they cap off at 3.4 liter motor. I have a 3.8.
If you put a piece of duct tape over it, they don't know.
Yeah,
oh, really?
I mean, I don't.
Cool. I'd be out of
really
M40,
check. I mean, do they really?
I mean, I'm also not that guy that's, I'm not good enough. I don't have any, nobody's like, oh, it's Joel, let it go. So, I mean, I don't have a name behind me where it's like, I could very well show up there and they'd be like, pack your bags, bud, go home. And I don't,
Paul,
so
what's your favorite saying?
On what?
Beg for forgiveness?
On tech, where you always have 1 week to fix it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You always get a fix it week. So if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
I mean, how do you fix a 3.8? How do you make?
You just change the duct tape around. For next week.
They'll never know. We can edit this out, right?
Switched it, guys. I promise.
We just play this all out. This never happened.
I mean, the trick is you go there the first time, and if they don't check, you got another week.
I guess that's the other thing is like somebody new. I don't know what tech is like out there. I don't know what. I don't know. But yeah, so I mean, I would go to. So I mean, to answer your question, M40 interests me. I would love to go to M40. I've read up a lot of the Springport too. Springport looks like fun. Great I've read track. A lot of the history on that, and those 2 tracks are definitely in there for me.
Is Bev your mom?
It is.
She said, "Don't encourage him." So here's the thing about Checkers, Zuckers, and More podcasts. We are really good role models.
Yeah.
Did you see us at Super Shoe at all?
Super Shoe was fun. Man.
Did you see us at Super Shoe?
Did you get?
I might not remember. I probably saw you.
Okay, no, that's okay. It's probably good if you didn't. That's okay. That's all right. Daddy's juice. That's all I gotta say.
Oh boy. So Donnie Bress asked one of my questions I was getting to. Why number 13? I think that's what it is. That was my question. So that's what we're going.
So I've always liked to go kind of against the grain, and like had I had time, I might have also painted it green too. Because you don't want a green car and you don't want the number 13. I'm like, I like those. But the other side of it was it's a black 2001 Chevy Monte Carlo. And you know who drove that. Yep. But I didn't want to be a complete ripoff of of that guy, of the man. So I was like, I'll throw a 1 in front of it. And so I knew nothing about this.
Kevin Page would
What's he doing?
comment of the
13 for 13. If you fold it in half. Emotional damage.
This is a family show.
time to put the kids to bed.
But so I sent you can squirrel me. 13. so then I sent him. I was reading everything that I had to do to become to register as a racer at Kalamazoo, and one of the things was pick your top 5 numbers, and if this one isn't selected, and so I went, all right, I'll do 13, 23, 33, 43, and 53. And I was like, you guys pick, and nothing. And I finally hit up the track, and I don't know who responded to me, and I'm like, I'm trying to print numbers. What's my number? And they're like, pick whatever you want. 13 it is.
Yep.
I got a sidetrack. Devin
Yeah.
said you were in the booth with me at Super Shoe. You were?
Devin, I think you were hacked. No, Devin's my girlfriend, but that's not her profile.
Uh-oh.
No, I think you were hacked, babe.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
I don't remember you in the booth with me either. So depending on
wasn't-
what night it
That's
was.
on YouTube.
Yeah, that's a
That's
YouTube.
fine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's YouTube.
Yeah.
What booth were we in?
That's what I'm wondering.
See, like I said, Super Shoe was a blur, man.
Saturday night was a blur for me.
Booth.
Did you
Clarify. Oh no! No, that's not the booth. That's where Seltzer was up at.
Yeah, I was announcing.
Yeah.
I don't remember you up there.
Oh yeah, I was up there. I took my nephew up there to go kind of like
Chad,
yeah,
how
I
are
got
you
pictures
feeling
and everything.
right now?
Yeah.
Remember what I said to the redhead down in the infield?
He doesn't. I promise. He was 7. He was so fascinated with what was going on the track.
Okay.
He was just happy to be there, man.
I don't remember you up there.
You could have said anything you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point, Donnie. Because what happened then? Jason gave me a look like you did not just stay on the mic. I'm like, yeah, I did.
Sorry. Hang your badge up as you go.
Kenny says you read way too many rules.
That's all I needed to hear, brother. That's all I needed to hear.
Yep. Okay.
Thank you.
All
That's all I wanted to hear.
right. Formal.
Kenny had said it was all right.
Yeah, Kenny's good. Formal awards banquets or end of the year party where it's just come as you are.
So I feel like Super Shoe's kind of like the end of the year party where plenty of people came as they were. It's like,
Literally.
yeah. Ooh, yeah. Kevin, what do you got to say?
Yeah, Kevin, you got something for that one?
So I feel like Super Shoe's kind of like the end of the year, like hoorah, and then I don't know. I think like a little awards banquet would be cool. I'd go to that, even though I'm not getting any awards. I'd go to show support and eat dinner. Yeah.
Where'd you finish in points this year?
Mid 20 somethings.
That's
Out of
Not
how
dead
many?
last,
Yeah,
I
but
was happy.
I'm going to stop you there. How many? Out of how many cars?
How many? How to what?
How many Zuzaks?
Oh God, I think
Can
if you
someone-
scroll down, like there's probably like 70 or 80 something on there.
more than that.
There's
Yeah.
more than that.
Yep.
Can someone load up Kalamazoo website and see how many zoo stocks raced this year? I don't know if it'll pull up.
Oh,
on
I don't
there.
know if it'll pull up on there, but
Because
it's a great way to. That doesn't surprise me, man. There's so many. It's a great way to get into racing. It's the
Charles Anderson, 93. So you finished mid 20s
Yeah,
out of
underdog.
93 cars.
I
It's your
feel pretty
rookie
good.
year.
Yeah, I learned a
Look
lot.
at it that way.
Yeah. Oh no, I learned a lot. I'm not. Don't take me wrong. I'm not disappointed or upset or mad or anything. I'm happy. I did better than I thought I would, and yeah, I'm tickled. And it doesn't surprise me that there's 90 something cars in that. It's when you think about the cost. What's a late model motor cost? 50, 60.
Well,
Too much.
Yeah. I wad everything up and destroy my entire race team. I'm not out a ton of money, Take me a little bit to be back, but it wasn't so it doesn't surprise me. It's a good entry level, good way to get people get their feet wet.
Donnie Breast, let's change your number and get the green off when I see a top 10 coming.
What number you suggest, Donnie?
21.
Do you want to
probably.
sponsor my number?
Oh boy. All right, Paul, go ahead while we're waiting on that
All
response.
right. I got 2 more.
Me too.
Who has been your biggest racing influence so far outside of the old number 3?
Influence? Gosh, so I mean, I was always a big Jeff Gordon fan. Yeah, I was wait for all the nasty comments. Always a big Jeff Gordon fan, but
It's better than Denny Hamlin.
right. Johnny Benson for sure, because I mean, how can you when at the point that I get in 2001 when I was getting into NASCAR, and oh my God, there's a guy from Grand Rapids on there. I've been to that city, and so I was always I always looked up to him, and now you got Carson. How do you say it? You got Carson Hocevar that's just tearing it up out there. So I mean, those guys. I mean, I'm older than Carson, but I mean, I look up to the kid. I mean, he's doing it right.
Yep.
You do have to look him. You're kind of short.
I am. I'm 5'7". I'm literally standing on my tiptoes so you can see some of my sponsors. Like if you could get a camera back here, like I'm standing out of my shoes.
So you don't want a camera on now. Have your pants on. Hold up.
I don't think Chad was in here
You
for that
didn't realize what
conversation.
shirt I was wearing?
No, I did. But
I noticed your shirt.
did you make this
I
shirt
did.
for this show?
Yeah. I made this for the show.
The dedication.
No,
is
I was
fantastic.
slicking my hair back.
Oh, he was. He was outside brushing his
Yeah, I
hair.
was washing my hair.
Yeah. Marketing's huge. You always gotta listen to any of my video. I mean, I'm always shouting out my sponsors when I'm describing the car.
This
That's
segment
the
is into the
automotive
last
chapter
question,
two
so I'm
custom.
going for it.
Go for
Let's
it.
talk about your sponsors, buddy. Go ahead and read that shirt.
So I wasn't good enough for anybody to write me a big old check and go put my name on your car. So it's a lot of it's been in-kind sponsorships. I've got to give a big shout out to Chapter 2 Customs, Adam out there, who it really taught me a lot of the basics, the fundamentals of racing. Not only just the basics of it, but the why behind it, the safety. Here's why I'm doing this to your cage. Here's why I'm not going to cut this corner. Here's why I'm doing it this way. And, explain it, because I mean, safety is huge. I mean, you don't want to just throw it, you don't want to just use exhaust pipe and, tack it to the floorboards.
Why?
Man, I can show you a ton of stuff. We've lost a lot of good racers, man. Safety's huge, and he taught me a lot about that. So, I mean, if you guys are looking to get started into it, hit up Adam at Chapter 2 Customs. But then I also got to thank May Automotive. I mean, everything from alignment work to changing that right, because it's a boat, man. So I'm going through a right front tire, it seems like every week. And Chris and Gary, Josie, all those guys out there are just great. I can bring them, tell you, need another one. And they're great about it. And so they got their name on there. And then Alpha Delivery's given me a spot to work on my car and store my car. And Alpha Delivery is the one that bought my Hans device, after, like I said, we lost a lot of good racers about that. So, I mean, safety's huge. And so it's a lot of in-kind sponsorship. Nobody's written me a check and said, here, man, fly my flag. So.
Nope, I like it.
I always told Chad, sometimes the sponsors that help out in other ways, just not money, are some of the best, because there are things you don't think about. Hans device, I mean, that's an easy $400 or $500 that you don't have to worry about. So
I mean, anything. I mean, put anything between your neck. I mean, even if it's just a little foam C collar. I mean, those don't cost much. I mean, get something to keep your neck from snapping, man.
So when
If
I
you do nothing else.
when I first started racing, I was reaching out to sponsors left and right, and Paul's like, "You're gonna hear 300 no's before you hear your first yes."
I'm a salesman. I get that.
And it was literally, I mean, I think it was close to 200 no's, and finally I got the one that says, "Yeah."
Yeah, get
Stop
familiar
by
with
my
the
shop.
letters F and O. Yeah,
Yep.
Get out of here, kid.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it's all part of it. I mean,
Yep.
odds game.
Yep.
Play the odds.
So I got one more question.
Of course.
Go back to younger Joel.
Oh boy.
What is one piece of advice that you would give him?
It all works out. It all works out. God, a piece of advice I would be nicer to your parents. I was an industrial strength child. And my parents have always been very supportive of me, but like literally nobody would have blamed them if they had left me at Kmart. And just be nicer to your folks. Spend more time with your grandmother. Yeah.
That's good.
That's damn good advice.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well done.
Are you ready for my favorite game? Word association. So
My mind's a very dark place, my friend.
that's the best. That's the best. So I'm gonna. Well, is it worse than Kevin's?
Well, I mean, like, oh, you betcha. Oh my gosh. No, I don't know. I'm pretty tied up there with Kevin for dark humor, but I'm in front of a ton of people. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it.
You don't have
family-friendly.
to keep it family friendly. We are not regulated by the FCC. So I'm gonna give you a word. It's gonna be rapid fire. You give me your answer. Okay.
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready. Yep. Chug, 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 chug,
Oh
chug.
boy.
Ow.
All right.
I'm ready.
Green.
Go.
Food.
Bombas.
Drink.
Pepsi.
Beer.
Bush latte.
Music.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Band.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Country.
Used to be good.
State.
Lost over the weekend.
Track.
Pavement.
Driver.
Earnhardt.
Fast.
Elsie.
Slow.
Me.
Cheater.
Pass.
The goat.
The goat. The goat. Dale.
Dirt.
Dart.
Dirt.
Dart like Dodge.
Dirt. Like dirt.
Oh, track. Hartford.
Asphalt.
Kalamazoo.
Clash.
Kalamazoo.
NASCAR.
Days of Thunder.
All right. I like the last one.
Good
Well
one.
done.
Good. She said you're playing a dangerous game.
Yeah, you are. You really were. You don't have any idea how if you ever gave a Russian roulette that was.
So, thank you so much. This was fun. I mean, I can tell you, there's probably a lot of people there watching that had no clue who you were.
Oh, that.
And that's
Happy to introduce you. Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
don't take that wrong way. You're a rookie. You were a rookie. This is what the show is supposed to be about. We bring in drivers that people may not know very well to get to know. I had not much known about you. Paul didn't know much about you. Words. I'm stroking out, guys. Like I'm having a stroke. Yeah, even Tom said, wow, Chad.
I had your kitty in my hands last week.
Whoa.
Oh, you hung out with his mom too? Yeah. So this is about the time every episode things just go real sideways.
Devolve. I have pictures of your kitty.
Well,
Donnie says what Stacey said. Super shoot. Oh boy, yes, Tom, off the rails. This turned. We just hit the dirt road now.
oh,
just
Chad
lost
does
Emily.
love his kitty held.
Oh my gosh, Joe. Oh boy.
Now I'm gonna get questioned later.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So we always leave the option for you if you want to hang out while we finish our last two segments of the show. Perfect.
Love to hang out
So
with you guys.
good. You can hang out. We can watch the Crash of the Week presented by Top Pro Racing Media.
That's raw emotion. That's.
Yeah, there's it.
Yeah, and I mean I'd be upset too. I mean, Oh, your own, you did over like that? I also love this safety crew camera going on.
Yeah, greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Woo! Greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness.
That was fantastic. It's good to have you back. Much needed week off last week. Love the graphic at the beginning of that as well. 4 million people reached this year just so far through October 14th.
Huge.
So pat yourself on the back. That's awesome. And as Joel said, go follow Top Row Racing Media, share their stuff, give them a like. Be sure to check them out on YouTube, as well as we head into the off season and are going to be super bored here with no races to go to.
Paul, what's it cost for you to share his content?
$0 hairs. 0.
Give him a like and a share.
100%.
Smash that subscribe button.
Smash it.
I like that. Yeah.
Nice.
Jinx.
Jinx, you owe me Coke? Don't owe me Coke. I can't drink Coke. Why is everyone looking at me? Thank you, Donnie. I think you're talking to me. I appreciate that. Now, EMA Enterprises Dad of the Week.
Who's your daddy? Come on, you know who your daddy is. Who's your daddy? Dargo, tell him who his daddy is.
I'm your daddy.
And our winner this week
throw your hands in the air if you're a true player. I love it when you call me Big Pop. To the honeys getting money, playing fellas like dummies. I love it when you call me Big Pop. You got a gun up in your waist, please don't shoot up the place. Cause I see some ladies tonight that should be having my baby.
First off, a huge congratulations to Adam Terry.
Somebody buy that guy a beer. He needs a beer. Somebody buy Adam a beer.
Coors Light, if I remember right. So I reached out to Adam and asked him, hey, can you give me a write-up about you being, the life of Adam the dad? Well, he's like, hey, give me a call. So I called him. He's like, I have a hard time talking about myself. So I always do a little write-up, and then I asked him a few questions. So this is what we got. Kind of work together. So Adam is one of those dads in the racing community that so many other dads look up to. He owns his own business, juggles three kids, and drives a badass race car. And Paul clarified cars.
With a Z.
With a Z. Adam is one of those guys that is always smiling and genuinely loves racing. But I'm sure the love and enjoyment from his kids is worth far more than any racing achievement he ever had. They are wanting their own seat time with racing, but they're not going to rush it. He said they go very hard as a family. They like to spend a lot of time outdoors. His oldest daughter does gymnastics. His middle daughter does soccer, travel soccer, and his younger son's getting into wrestling. They love to go around and ride the golf cart. So, Adam, I kind of butchered that a little bit. It was my wording wasn't all there either. But all I can say is, Adam, keep doing what you're doing. I know a lot of drivers, they look up to you, even though you're short. They look up to you. And I mean, Joel, you're short too. But they look up to you because you're one of the good guys out there. And I know I appreciate you more than anything. When I went through my hard times, you reached out to me very often just to make sure I was okay. And I can't appreciate you enough for all that. And you're just an overall great guy, and it's well appreciated. So congratulations. Keep doing you and keep being a super dad.
Amen to that. That guy's one of the rare ones out there. He's saved the PJP camp quite a few times over the years. So thanks, Adam, for everything you do. And man, if there's a family to hang out with, it's them. super contagious energy, kind of like yourself, that just puts you in a good mood no matter what the hell's going on. So
Yeah. And yeah, he's just one of those guys you can say you're very lucky to know him. So
I don't know you, but there's a beer for you at the 13 Garage.
there you go.
Sounds like a good guy.
He is a great guy. Yeah, he would probably give you the shirt off his back. It's just the type of guy he is. So it's definitely a well-earned stat of the week. So
It's great about the community.
yep,
A lot of
exactly.
guys like that.
So I don't have anything else. Do you, Paul?
no, that was a fun episode. Thank you again
Yeah,
for
of
spending
course.
your Monday
No.
night with us. Alicia, great job. Thanks to all the fans out there in the audience. And just remember, Denny Hamlin sucks.
And remind you, thank again for all the support, guys. Everyone who follows us, all of our partners, Howe, Patio and Windows, Kalamazoo Speedway, Finish Line Landscape Management, Finish Line Handyman Home Repair Service, EMA and Enterprises, Lewis over there at Top Row Racing Media, and Alicia, like Paul said, thank you for everything. Just make sure you guys check in with your friends and family. The ones who need the most help are typically the ones that don't want the help. Sometimes all it takes is just an open ear to help them through a rough time. With that, guys, we love you.
See you guys next week.
Woo!